Good afternoon and welcome to GCMX News, coming to you live from our studio in GCMX Africa, Kano, Nigeria. Today, Monday, being the 19th January 2026, which is equivalent to 30th Rajab 1447 after Hijrah. I am Hamza Dauda Adamu with the news. First, the news headlines. Kano State Executive Council approved 8.5 billion naira for some key projects. Nasarawa State Police Command rescued 17 children from suspected human trafficking in Karu local government area. Governor Fubara described the notice of impeachment issued against him and his deputy. Kano State Police Command has continued investigations in 3 principal suspects of murder of a housewife and her 6 children in Chiranchi quarters in Kano. And now the news in details. The Kano State Executive Council has approved 8.53 billion naira for the key project in infrastructure, health, education, water supply and social welfare across the state. The approvals came during the 37th Executive Council meeting on Thursday at the government lodge in Abuja. Speaking to the journalists after the meeting, the State Commissioner for Information, Comrade Ibrahim Abdullahi Waya, said the project spanned multiple ministries and agencies, aimed at improving service delivery, public safety and socio-economic development. However, he added that 3.1 billion naira will be spent on aluminium sulfate or alum for water treatment across the state for 6 months, while 1.7 billion naira has been approved for the construction of a two-court surface dress road from Chiromawa to Garumbaba in Garumbaba local government area. The Nasarawa State Police Command has rescued 17 children from suspected human trafficking in Karu local government area of the state. The police public relations officer SP Ramhan Nansel said the operation is a major breakthrough in the command's ongoing effort to combat human trafficking and related crimes in Nasarawa. However, he explained that police officer attached to Mararaba A Division Karu intercepted a white Volkswagen Sharon vehicle with registration number SHD253YU at Sharp Corner on Saturday 17th January at around 5:30 p.m. Meanwhile, the vehicle was being driven by 36-year-old Nali John and was carrying 17 passengers, which is 11 boys and 6 girls, all aged between 10 and 19 years. Also, upon questioning, the children were suspected to be victims of human trafficking from Shandam in Plateau State. In further investigation revealed that both the driver and the children were traveling from Shandam to Kayama in Kwara State to meet a man named Umaru. Rivers State Governor Sasimi Nalayi Fubara has described the notice of impeachment issued against him and his deputy, Professor Ngozi Odu, by the State House of Assembly as what he called a love letter. Governor Fubara made the remark on Saturday while speaking at the special guest at the grand final of 2026 Port Harcourt Polo Tournament held in the state capital. The governor, who spoke publicly on the impeachment issued for the first time, assured that he will not support directly or indirectly.
2026, I thought it would have been the finest. They just landed me a love letter. So you understand? But that notwithstanding, we must move on. We must carry out our responsibility as government, and we must continue to support everyone who means well for Rivers State. So I'm here on behalf of the government and the very well.
Assured that he will not support directly or indirectly any action capable of threatening peace and security in Rivers State. However, he stressed that the protection of lives and property remains the foremost responsibility of his administration. Also, it will be recalled that Rivers State House of Assembly last Thursday wrote the Chief Judge of the state requesting the constitution of a 7-man panel to investigate allegations of gross misconduct against the governor and his deputy. Meanwhile, Governor Fubara maintained that he remains the duly elected governor of Rivers State and is committed to fulfilling the promises made to the people. You are still watching to GCMX Africa News. Stay tuned as we come back shortly. Welcome back. The Kano State Police Command says it has continued investigations into 3 principal suspects linked to the gruesome murder of a housewife and her 6 children at Dorei Chiranchi quarters in Kano. In a statement issued on Sunday, the police say the arrest followed intelligence-led operation carried out on the directive of the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Adelu Ibetukun. However, the operation was coordinated under the leadership of the Commissioner of Police, Kano State Command, CP Ibrahim Adamu Bakori. Also, the Police Public Relations Officer, CSP Abdullahi Haruna Kiawa, disclosed that the suspects were arrested during an overnight sting operation. Meanwhile, the suspects have been identified as Umar Awolu, of 23 years, of Sabuan Gandu quarters, Isiaku Yakubu, also known as Chebe, 40 years, of Sagaigi quarters, and Yakubu Abdul Aziz, popularly called Wawo, of 21 years, of Sabongida Sharada quarters. Tragedy struck in Ilorin, the Kwara State capital, on Saturday evening as 3 children were killed in a fire outbreak at the Ogidi area of the city. The fire, which gutted a story building, was caused by a petroleum explosion from fuel stored inside the residence. However, the spokesperson of the Kwara State Fire Service, Hassan Adekule, said firefighters were alerted to the incident at about 6:46 p.m. and were promptly deployed to the scene. According to him, the building comprised 5 rooms and 6 shops, with 3 shops on the ground floor, several affected. Meanwhile, preliminary findings indicate that a woman has stored about 50 liters of petroleum inside one of the shops where her 3 children were sleeping, leading to the fatal explosion. On the foreign news, you will hear that Uganda has announced it will remain a ban on social media platforms as the government lifted a nationwide internet blackout hours after longtime President Yoweri Museveni was declared the winner of the national elections. The internet had been blocked 2 days before the polls opened on Thursday. While the government said the move was necessary to curb misinformation, the United Nations described the decision as deeply worrying. Although much of the country remained calm after the votes, there were reports of small-scale protests last Saturday, with AFP journalists in part of the capital, Kampala, reporting the use of tear gas. However, on Sunday morning, security presence in Kampala appeared to have eased significantly, with people back on the streets and shops open. Meanwhile, the government confirms the return of most internet service while defending the days-long suspension as necessary and proportionate. To end the news, a recap of the major items. You have heard that Kano State Executive Council has approved 8.5 billion naira for some key projects. Nasarawa State Police Command rescued 17 children from suspected human trafficking in Karu local government area. Also, you heard that Governor Fubara described the notice of impeachment issued against him and his deputy. Kano State Police Command has continued investigation into 3 principal suspects of murder of a housewife and her 6 children in Chiranchi quarters in Kano. This news comes to you live from our studio, GCMX Africa, Kano, Nigeria. You can also follow us through our social media handles at GCMX Africa or through our streaming platform at GCMX on streaming or GCMX Radio Garden. Once again, I'm Hamza Dauda Adamu saying goodbye for now.